Monday morning. This week I'm going to focus on, I don't know really. There's been a lot of disruptions to logistics chains and suppliers. So I was planning on a larger delivery to last for 3 weeks, and none of my suppliers are in stock. So it's kind of changed the pace here a little bit. I have an order prepared. It's a large shipment, and I've had to use alternative materials, but I've decided a certain direction that I'm going to follow, so I just need to commit to it and push ahead. Um, yeah, I think there's definitely something in this for me, something that I will try to work on and try to give it a little bit more life. Took the dogs for a walk in the rain there. I mean, they have to get out one way or another. I think that's it for today. Just administration. And yeah, that's it. Hey. Thursday here. It's pretty cold. We ran out of heating oil here, so waiting for delivery. But yeah, also waiting for delivery of my paint and so on and so on. So I don't imagine there'll be a lot of interesting things today, but you never know, might be surprised. I'm going to fill in the background on this smaller one. Okay, well it's kind of nice work to do when you have this really fine detailing to do. It's very calming, kind of bring everything right down. Picked off the details here, meaning I cleaned up some of the stray lines, cleaned up the bottom here, cut this one in two. I think this is something I'm going to use, this is not. So that's it, gonna leave it for today. Wednesday, is it, Harry? So the situation here has changed quite a lot in a short space of time. There's been a shift because of the coronavirus. There's been a lot of disruptions, there's a lot of closures. The gallery contacted me, and because there's uncertainty for many industries, we're going to try to renegotiate the date and more than likely just postpone everything, push it off until another time. So, and I certainly myself will feel the pinch in these times, like when there's some sort of a global crisis, because of the precarious nature of being an artist. Yeah, so I used to live in the west of Ireland in a village. I think I had a great life. I had a very outdoor life. I used to travel around quite a lot. I had a little car. Used to love spending time by the ocean and surfing, and that all changed when the economy tanked in 2008. So my life was kind of disrupted, as was many people's. I mean, that's to be expected. I don't want to make it seem as if I'm oblivious to what's going on in the world. But I mean, quarantine is in effect for many people, and I'm pretty much quarantined here as it is. I'm so grateful for the dogs, I have to say. I mean, to have that company. So I'm going to use this last stock of materials here, and I'll show you how I get on, and let's see how the situation changes. Just heard a smack against the window. Oh man. That is a bummer. Actual Thursday today. I've got material, I've got time. So I'm just going to crack on. I'm going to just keep working here and use up the last of my material before the world completely comes to an end. These are kind of earlier experiments where the difference in clay is incredible. Like the finish in this is awful. Like it's just not smooth at all. I mean, it's quite heavy. It's quite a thick bed of clay, but it just doesn't work. There's just the surface is all wrong here. So we just put it down to experience, basically. How satisfying is this? Doing a quick check here, and as I've been warned by my friend, a lot of things are cracked, and practically everything is cracked beyond its original form, and you could say destroyed, but I mean, I don't know the material, so I don't know the tolerances, but I mean, I prefer to think of this as experimentation, so if it frames it a little bit better. I really love these fragments. I mean, cracks aside, I just think like how these things, these little objects, I think, like shards of something bigger. I mean, they suggest something bigger, which is quite interesting, like in the depth, the texture. And this one I really like too. Again, it's quite a lot of cracks, but I like that it's captured this kind of movement. Yeah, again, really, really nice kind of fragments. They're very evocative, just as pieces. This is still holding. I mean, this would be the true test. I have to say I really like this, and I like this direction, but it's just a question of, this is solid now. The ridges where the air could get underneath are more or less, I mean, I would consider solid, but you can see on the flat, there's no air circulation there, so those pieces are still very much curing. If this one holds, I mean, this is definitely a direction I'm going to pursue. But again, I might just come in tomorrow and it'll be just split right down the middle. I wouldn't be surprised. Just to see all of these things together like this, I think it's quite impressive. Yeah, it shows it's like a burst of creativity and of experimentation. It's very tactile. You can almost feel it with your eyes. You can feel these edges and, you know, the jagged nature, the brittle quality. Those kind of qualities are something I haven't explored before. Incredible lightning strike over here. Holy shit! Just heard the news there that the whole country's going to be locked down. The Taoiseach, or the Prime Minister of Ireland, has spoken from New York, so everything is going to be closed. But kind of predicted this to happen anyway. Friday, made it this far. Just gonna try one thing today, I think. I've just run something underneath here to unstick it from the surface, so that as it continues to shift, to move as it dries, that it won't crack, hopefully. What is it? What is it, Harry? Yeah, I'm finding it kind of hard to settle in to do any kind of work today. I was just looking at these sort of chipped pieces and thought about the idea of a mosaic, and it's quite nice. I mean, it does have quite a nice depth. However, I'm very kind of flighty today. I'm going to take the dogs for a long walk, and I might be back this afternoon. Let's see. Well, that's it. That's it for the studio here. The residency is over here, so I am going to spend the next day just taking everything down, reset everything. I shall pack things away. I mean, I'll make a kind of a selection of things that I will hope to use in the future, in a future exhibition. And then in the meantime, I think priorities have changed, so need to focus on something else. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure I'll check in at some stage. Let's see what happens. Yeah, before I go, if you'll indulge me, I would like to read out this poem. It just seemed fitting. It came into my head this week. Anecdote of the Sparrow by Robert Pack. The modern house with great glass eye stared like an idol at the sun. Such judgment singed the air that one could almost hear the flowers cry. Down in the garden below the glass, there the broken sparrow lay. What silent force will block our way, or smash us as we darkly pass on some bright noon to seek a place? Prepare, since even gods are blind, for things unseen. Be of the kind, or in the glass come see your face. F*** off, Abby.